Hi, everybody. When I started this new show, I had expected it to be in a different content position, more oriented toward my entertainment background when I had my show in LA. And then what evidenced itself was something quite different. And what I'm bringing forward are now more in each segment pertinent information, the process that we're in, the spiritual evolution of who we are, the ascension energy that we've talked about many times. And each time I have brought on somebody that brings us such wonderful, pertinent, usable information. And why? Because I'm right here in the Humankind.center in their studio, where the objective is the ground foundation that all of us need at this particular time in this era of the planet's evolution. And so today I am dedicating this show to my nephew, Jamey Francis, and we'll talk about why towards the end of the show. And so right now, I want you to stick around. Don't you dare move that dial, because it's something that you will want to see today. And so with that, I'll be right back. Okay, everybody, we're talking about wellness, and we're talking about presenting something for you to put your body in the most perfect condition that you could by putting attention to it. So I want you to know about Mike Govoni and his center in Sedona, Arizona. Tell everybody what we can do to be a rejuvenated and healthy person.
Yeah, so my name is Mike Govoni. I'm the founder of Sedona Detox and Wellness. We are a high-end wellness center here in the beautiful land of Sedona, Arizona, and we have high-end technologies to support people's health optimization, their wellness, their mitochondrial health. So if you want to feel your best, come on over to Sedona Detox and Wellness, and you can find us at sedonadetoxandwellness.com.
Beautiful. Be there. All right. Very good. You stuck with us, and it's something that you will be very happy that you did, is staying here today, because I have someone with me that I've known for a long time, a lot of years. She was born conscious, meaning when she was a child, she had the intuitive skills and being able to see things that she thought everybody saw, because when you're 5 years old, that's what you think, that other people are like you. And then you get older and you find out, why are they thinking I'm so strange? And so this wonderful guest has been a consciousness pioneer. That's what I call us. We came in early on and started breaking ground where ground needed to be broken to bring new concepts. And so my guest is very well known in Europe, well known in Sedona, is a world-renowned teacher, workshop facilitator, and we got to get the mouth working, and gives individual sessions. Her name is Michelle Phillips. Michelle, thank you for being on our show.
Thank you so much for having me.
Yes.
So I need to interrupt what you were saying about
Did I make a mistake?
That you will let them know later about Jamey, because he's here
Oh.
and he's part of the experience that I went through in the review room.
Oh my.
So you can bring his energy in here now.
Wow.
Yeah, he wants you to.
Oh my. Oh
so
my.
he's already starting to do his spiritual work.
Oh my goodness. Now you're
Through
going to
you.
make me cry.
Yeah, absolutely. You
So-
are the vehicle that he's able to bring energy or consciousness through.
Go figure.
Yeah, we just never know. Yeah.
So just so our audience knows, my brother I talk to almost every day back in Wisconsin, and he called me on the 4th of July morning, and I thought he was going to be wishing me a happy 4th of July. But instead he had to give me the sad news that Jamey, his 42-year-old only son, was found passed away next door in the cabin where he lives. And of course that was devastating to everyone. I mean, not just the family, but the entire county, because Jamey was someone who was so involved and so contributing. I mean, he was involved, he was the alderman for this and on this council and that council, and he was running for assembly in the next election. he was on the ski team, and he was just throughout the entire community. Everybody knew Jamey, and so that's what, as viewers, I just wanted you to understand when we're talking about Jamey. Jamey is here in spirit, and
Very much so, because he came through this morning. When he first passed, he was kind of integrating with his new home, you could say. But then yesterday when I was talking to you, I said, oh, I can feel him around now. So this morning when I woke up, he really wanted me to let you know how happy he is in spirit that he's home. And now he can reach more people. That you know his journey when he was younger, and it was not easy. Like most of us, that have agreed we're going to wake up spiritually. We chose a lot of karmic stuff, completions in this lifetime, which he did. So he's saying now in the higher dimension. So he's with my son, Frank. Hey, you guys, they're laughing.
Michelle went through this as well and lost
Yeah.
her son 8 years ago.
Yeah. So anyway, he's saying he has a larger purpose now than the earth. And also when we lose someone, as painful or challenging as it is, people start looking for ways to heal. Like, what was this about? What was the purpose? So it just feels like all of the veils or belief systems or whatever just come down, and we're raw and vulnerable. So that's what's happening. It's going to happen to your family also. It cannot not happen. You just start letting go of what we think is important and what isn't.
He popped in front of me something that he wrote on his Facebook in 2010, and I wasn't looking for it. Jamey literally put it on my phone.
Yeah.
And I sent it
I want
to,
you to know. Yeah.
and he talked about, I'll show it on screen.
Yeah, okay.
Because basically his statement started saying that when it's time for you to leave this world, there is nothing that can stop it. He wrote in 2020.
Yeah.
And then he went on to say what was important, basically what you just got through saying, the priorities. And Jamey loved stuff.
Yeah.
But in that message on Facebook, he said it's not about the stuff,
Yeah.
that we can't take it with us, and it is about the memories. That's what he said.
It is.
And I will put it up on the screen for everybody to read, because I feel like it's something he wants people to see. So I certainly didn't expect this to come in right here.
Well, I lost my son, or he left 8 years ago. And as a spiritual healer in my consciousness with God's spirit, I thought I knew quite a bit, whatever, And I've counseled so many people that have lost loved ones, but it's a whole different ballgame when it's your own.
Yes.
So when someone that you love passes, because they're such a big part of your heart, part of you leaves with them.
Oh, God.
Absolutely. It's like people that have been together for a long time, like if the man leaves, and shortly after the woman leaves also, because their hearts are so connected, their cells, their tissues, their organs really vibrate with each other. So when the one leaves, it's like they're actually opening like a portal for the other one to move up through also.
Well, I hope that that's not some portal for some of my family members. You need to all stay here right now, because
Absolutely.
we need each other. That's for sure.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yes.
Yeah.
And one of the things I wanted to bring forward in today's segment was the fact now that Michelle, who has healed herself from so many different maladies, has been at death's door many times. I too had left about 5 years ago, and she accompanied me when I left and decided to come back. It's another side story.
Yeah.
But I did, if you wouldn't mind, do you think we can transition to your experience?
Sure.
Or do you think we should talk about the fact that your background and your whole system started so many years ago when people thought you were crazy? You were cutting the ground in the pioneering of concepts about what it means to be here and what it means to heal, and what tools we might have that would bring forward these new methods because, Jonathan Ashford and Ken Lloyd, they have died and come back and showing us about all these frequencies, and you were doing these codes way back when people thought, what is she doing? Now all these things are coming to the forefront with so many people are coming forward and being woken up from, a life that they lived, and then they have an event, as they call it.
Yeah.
And, I was hoping Jamey would come back too. It's like, but here we are. He is back, but in a different form.
Yeah, absolutely. He's very much here, and he's going to be very much around you, too.
Wow.
You're going to be able to bring him through. That's his intention. Because of your consciousness, he can come through.
Okay.
Oh, interesting. And that's been an agreement ahead of time. He's
wow.
showing me. It's in the contract.
Wow.
Beautiful. Well, I just want to explain about my beginning a
Yes,
little bit.
please.
Okay. So I always knew that God was my real, as a child, my mommy and daddy, I used to lay in bed at night and cry like, Mommy, Daddy, let me come home. And I felt like I was being punished for some reason because I had to be down here. So I've always had the connection to God and Spirit. And I call Jesus my main man, not through a church or religion. He's just always been with me from a very young age. And he's taught me my work step by step. And so much of the time through one of my death experiences, and then how to come out of it. So years ago, I was diagnosed with cancer. And I was living in Hawaii at the time, and I had just started my tour in Sweden. And this man that's very conscious there had said to me, your cancer spread. You need to go home and take care of yourself. And then I felt this fear, this death fear, and I thought, wait a minute. I don't think like this. I don't feel like this. And I knew that I had matched and merged with the death of cancer, the fear of cancer. So then I started looking at the health issues, like who in my life has had the health issues I've had? And I could see that was my father. So I thought, okay, I'm going to go into his DNA. And this is how spirit works. Many times they don't say, go into the DNA. Intuitively, you just know. And so there's so many people that are very intuitive that receive so many messages and they don't understand it because they think Spirit's going to say, go here, do this. And many times they do, but other times they'll just send you the frequency energy. So anyway, I thought, okay, I'm going to go into my father's DNA, and I did. And I was blown away. I always say I married my father twice because we know that we marry our parents or the patterns or whatever. But when I was in the DNA, I could absolutely experience that my system was my father's pattern, that I was playing out his agreements or whatever he'd gone through here. So in the DNA, I started doing soul retrieval, brought the aspects of myself back that were stuck in the DNA, the father ancestral pattern. I thought if I can go into my father's, I can go into my mother's, did the same thing. And I had 2 biopsies that said I had cancer. And I went in for cancer surgery because it was uterine. And I thought, I don't need it. I'm not going to have any more children. And I want to get back to doing what I love, my spiritual work. I mean, I might do it differently now. But anyway, when I went in for cancer surgery, not a trace of cancer was found. So we are carrying our parents, our ancestors' programming. We become an extension of it.
Wow.
I had a woman that, one of my workshops, she bought my CD, the ancestral CD,
They're wonderful CDs.
So she was from Poland, and Poland has horrific history from World War II. So her parents were just at each other all the time, fought all the time, argued. So she started going into the DNA every single day, totally shifted their consciousness. She cleared it out of her, it started clearing it out of them. So then they ended up like on a honeymoon, and they're still on the honeymoon. The love between them just becomes stronger and stronger. So as we clear out who we're not, that we are playing out here, we open up to the highest consciousness, our higher self, to God's Spirit, and our higher spiritual team.
Wow. Wow. That's an incredible story. You know, and I know you have so many of them.
I do.
You know, but you know, I wanted to say, some of you might have watched the Ken Lloyd videotape, and he had an event
Yeah.
and came back with a whole team. In fact, you told me when I had passed and came back, a walk-in aspect of myself came in.
A higher aspect.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
And he has, like, you keep talking about your whole team. You often,
Yeah.
I hear you say that, and Ken Lloyd talks about that spiritual team too. And he does frequency. I watched the tape.
Yeah.
The way he does his frequencies is like, it's almost like otherworldly, because nobody could try to copy that. That's for sure.
Yeah.
But you were bringing in codes, and you know, now all of the things that you said so many years ago that people thought, what is she talking about?
Yeah, they
You
thought I was
broke
nuts.
the pioneering aspects of all of this very present comprehension of what tools are available to us. And I've had Robin Hill on here, and a lot of people are evidencing these otherworldly aspects and skills that, of course, you and I came in with
Yeah.
those intuitive
Yeah.
things at the
Yeah.
beginning. And we had to kind of adjust because we were judged, and you know.
Yeah, it was a lonely journey, put it that way.
Yes.
And yet, I still knew that it was my journey. I couldn't see my journey out here anywhere. It was definitely with spirit, absolutely. And I'm dyslexic, so I don't even read much. I'm very right brain, although I've done 5 books.
Right. And I can attest that she's dyslexic, because when she just even writes me an email, I know, oh, there she goes. And I go, she had to have channeled those books,
I
because she
did.
couldn't have written them herself.
Yeah. Yeah. And even channeling the books, I mean, such a gift where Spirit is showing us we have so many gifts inside of us that are just waiting to be activated. When the Creator Speaks came through me, I'm going to show it. Okay.
Oh, please do.
This came through, I channeled it in 2004 after I came back from India, and I had gone through a near-death experience there. And I was really excited when I left the body, and I was looking down and I could see my body really gray, and so I'm up there with my team getting ready to go into spirit, and you need to go back, Michelle. I said, I don't want to go back. I was really angry. You know, the shadow work, they're saying, from what I went through with all the dark energies, you know, many years ago, and learned how to come out of it. And they say, you're really good with the shadow assisting people. We need for you to go back.
Yeah.
And like I said, I didn't want to come back, but then they were negotiating with me and said, if you go back, you're going to have the love you always wanted in your life. So I thought, okay, they're going to bring my perfect partner to me. I'm going to have love, you know. So I guess I agreed, because I wake up and I'm back in the body, and the love I experienced was from God, from Mother, Father, God, Creator, you know. And I was feeling like, oh my God, I'm this baby in the womb of love of God. And I was feeling like, oh my God, so this must be what it's like when a baby is born in love. Because I never had that as a child. I didn't even know what it was, you know. And then my friend who'd been gone, you know, she left me in this mosquito net, came back in. And I was so hot. She goes, oh my God, I got to get you to a hospital. I'm afraid you're going to die. I said, I've already done that. Just bring me some aspirin. But anyway, then when I got back to America, I had been working on a book for a few years about the dark night of the soul that I had gone through. The name of it was From Hell to Infinity. And then when I came back, I'm feeling like I need to get this book done so I can go on with my life. And when I sat down, I just started channeling the Creator Speaks. And I knew it was the Creator that was coming through me. I was automatic writing, but I didn't know what I was writing. And after the first day, I went, oh my God, it was incredible.
It is an incredible,
Yeah.
incredible book.
And people now that are reading it, like, oh my God, you know, it's a DNA activator. It definitely shifts you into higher vibrations. And because I don't read a lot, my daughter does, she goes, "Oh my God, Mom, what you're talking about in the Creator Speaks are what people are waking up and sharing now."
And you wrote that book when?
In 2004.
Yeah.
And I got it published in 2009. I've had a lot of interference with government, with shadow, all of this. And trying to get this book done was horrific because they stopped me everywhere I could, you know, everywhere they could. Anyway, so I didn't get it published for 5 years or so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's a bedside book. I have it by my bed, and sometimes all I want to do is I just open it up to anything and let Creator speak to me about whatever I need, to get as a message before I go to sleep.
And because the energy, I channeled it from the source, and I'm saying source, to me it's God, but whatever your connection to God and Spirit is, I mean, they don't care, just make the connection,
Yeah.
But
beyond
Yeah,
religions.
absolutely.
Because, all of our religions, it's always a religious war.
Yeah.
And we know that religions are not designed for anything but control and get the money. It's a money grab. And, I started realizing that you're saying go to source.
Absolutely.
The all that is. I've been
Absolutely.
there a couple of times. And up there isn't any language, there isn't any pictures, there is just a sense that I knew. It's like,
You're home.
yeah, well, yes.
Yeah.
Because, the Catholic Church, when I went to Catholic
my
school
God,
till I was in 8th grade,
Yeah.
and kneeling, studying catechism, God is all-knowing, God all-seeing, all, to scare us to death. You better not do anything wrong because God knows.
Yeah.
Well, yes, God does know. The truth is that was the truth, but not from the perspective they were trying to use on us.
Yeah. Let me finish this,
Oh,
and then
yes.
Spirit has something to say about that.
Okay.
So because this book was channeled from the Creator directly, and as we're ascending, moving into higher vibrations of ourself, so is the book. So when people read it or pick it up, they can really feel the high vibration of it, and it just starts clearing out our whole energy field and opens us up into the higher consciousness of our being. Okay. So with your statement,
Yes.
okay, Jesus is here, my main man, and what he's saying is religion was as challenging as it can be, was a doorway in to God, the source of it. And now what is happening, so many of these religions, like the Catholic religion, it's shifting also. Many of them are now shifting, is what he's showing me, into higher vibrations. And there's no way that they can't do that because we're ascending into a higher vibration. So the old consciousness doesn't work for people anymore. They don't feel it. And because of that, so many people are moving out of controlled religion and into the higher spiritual aspects of themselves. So I know so many people that are very gifted spiritually and that also are very connected to their religion, what they were raised in, but they're in the higher vibration of it. Like they say, don't throw the baby out with the bathwater, So really looking at the gifts that they receive from it and
Yes.
letting the rest go.
Well, so many of the near-deathers talk about the fact that there is no judgment because, of course, we were taught that God forgives us no matter what we've done, but that is true because there is no judgment on the higher planes.
There isn't. Which I want to explain my experience that I went
Yes,
through recently.
please.
So I was just in Sweden and then France for a month. And my sister was with me, some friends, and we picked up some kind of virus, so we've had it for over a month. I mean, we're doing better now. But I was back in Sweden and I was really sick. And I was just thinking, I was praying, okay, if I'm going to expire, if I'm going to leave, I'm okay with it. But get me home, please. Like I didn't want to what we call die in Sweden. What are they going to do with my body? How are they going to get it home? And I didn't want that to happen at an airport or on the plane. So I'm just saying, please just get me home and whatever. Then if it's my time to leave, I'm fine with it, So I'm at the airport.
But I'm not fine with it.
I'm like, whatever, you know. So I'm at the airport going through security, and I'm really sick. You know, they're going through my stuff. And then I'm open to the higher consciousness of myself. And we are multidimensional beings, and we vibrate in so many dimensions at the same time. So anyway, so I'm in the higher dimensions, and I'm in the review room reviewing my life. So I was going through a near death, which was interesting, and yet there was an aspect of me that was still in my physical body. So it's like multidimensional beings. I'm here, and yet I'm in the future, because this was definitely future. And the excitement that I felt there. So I know about the review room from when my son passed, you know, and I was taken up into higher dimensions and all this. But now I'm there, and I'm like, oh my God, I got to be on the earth. And I could feel the excitement of what I had gone through down here. And then I'm like, oh my God, I got to birth 3 amazing children. And it wasn't about their journey or what they'd gone through or who they were or weren't. It was just the gift of these amazing souls that came through me. And then I'm like, oh my God, and I got to experience love. And so it wasn't, you know, like my relationships, I've been married twice. It wasn't, well, you know, we whatever. There was only love. Like, oh my God, I got to experience love there. And then I'm like, oh my God, I got to move to Hawaii. Look at that. I got to live in Hawaii with my children. And years ago, I was the first woman supervisor in the lumber industry, and that just kind of happened, you know. Anyway, like, oh my God, I was the first woman supervisor in the lumber industry. I mean, I'm looking at everything I'd done down here with the excitement. Oh my God, I got to manage a bar. And like, oh my God, I was an author when I was down there. And then sounds kind of egotistical, but oh my God, I was pretty when I was down there.
Oh, you're still beautiful.
Well, thank you. But just everything that I had gone through. And oh my God, look at this. I got to make a difference in people's lives.
Yes.
And that for me was just, even talking about it now is emotional, because I love the work that comes through me. Sometimes after workshops, like I cry from love, like, thank you, God, to be able to make a difference here. So all of the things that I had agreed to do on the earth or whatever, I was there reviewing it. And it was the excitement of all of it. There was no emotion. Like I said, there's no judgment. It was like just the excitement of being able to be on the earth plane and what I got to go through here. And what is interesting, before my son left, I was getting ready to go on a tour in Sweden. And about a week before that, he had called me and said, gosh, Mom, look at my life, how amazing it's been. He was a surfer dude. You know, he lived in Hawaii. The ocean was his life. He said, oh my God, look at the places I've lived. You know, I've surfed all over the world. And then his daughter was 12, and oh my God, the love that he got to experience. So he's sharing this with me, and I'm kind of chuckling to myself, thinking, I hope he's not getting ready to leave, which he was. But that conversation means so much to me because I knew his life was well lived. So I feel like intuitively he was also reviewing himself from the higher dimensions, you know. Maybe not like they took me into the review room, so I got to experience myself here and forward in time. So after I get out of security there, I'm like, just in this high vibration. There was so much more about the accomplishments down here or whatever. So then I go sit down because I'm just vibrating in this energy, and at the same time here. And I asked, am I going to live? They said, what do you want to do, Michelle? So I knew there was an exit for me there. And when I thought about it, I said, I want to stay. You know, I've gone through so much in this lifetime, like so many of us have, and there's so much amazing awakening that's happening on the earth now, and I want to be a part of it. I want to go through this with the whole collective that's waking up right now into really the light at the end of us, and we are the light. as we're coming together. And I was just so blown away when I was talking about Humankind today, what they're doing here.
Yes.
Like I said, it made me want to cry from love, like, thank you, God, how people are really waking up and coming back together. That's what we need to focus on and not the division here.
Yeah. Well, you would talk a lot with me about, you know, the separation and the what is it called? Where you're two opposites. You had a term for that, where, you know, like, you know, two opposites hitting each other. And
Well, all of these patterns and the karmic energy that we go through here. I mean, we're down here, like I said, we're carrying all of our ancestral stuff, and our agreement is, as the light beings, we're going to come down and we're going to clear it out of ourselves. As we do, we clear it out of generations forwards and backwards. And you do not have children, but Jamey is coming through you.
okay.
He's going to really be, yeah, coming through and bringing information to you now.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, okay. That's
exciting.
certainly a surprise.
Yeah.
And I know I've been working on myself especially intensely in the last 6 months to a year. And, you know, I'm seeing so much of, there are so many people waking up now. I mean,
Incredible.
Jonathan Ashford was dead for 3 hours. Excuse me? How does
Yeah.
anybody come back from that?
Yeah.
But he did.
Yeah, he's definitely a walk-in.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, he was like a completely different
Yeah.
person than he is now. And with these, you know, and it's interesting because that's seems to be what evidences itself, that people that were very different are now, you know, having these events, as they call
Yeah.
them,
Yeah.
as you have several times.
Yeah, I've had quite
and
a
so, yeah, and each time you come back, I'm sure that there's more of your team that's on board.
Well, what happened when I went through the near-death, whatever, then in like last month, I can definitely feel a higher aspect of myself is integrated. Because in the sessions I'm doing with people, I must say, I feel blown away. Like, oh my God, how in tune I am, but in tune with the person, with their whole journey down here, the emotions, everything they've gone through. It just feels like the blueprint of it is very easy for me to see, to feel, and to clear and release.
Well, I know that, you know, you are one of the few that has been able to clear dark force energy and the shadow work. There are not a lot of people that have the skill and the strength to deal with that.
Well, I started going through that like 30 years ago, really being hit by the dark forces. But it happened after, what's her name that wrote the book Aliens Among Us. So I'd had a client come, and this is like 30, 35 years ago. I was living in Hawaii, you know, just starting my work, you know, really I was excited. And, God, what's her name? Anyway, this client comes to me and she said it was her first lifetime here on planet Earth. And I'm thinking, yeah, right, now I've heard everything. I mean, although I believed in life on other planets, it wasn't something I was really interested in. So I give her the session and we regress her back to Venus.
Oh.
It was incredible. And the way they fed themselves there was not like food we eat. They fed it from the frequency of the planet. The planet came up through them and fed them.
Oh, how
And
beautiful.
giving birth wasn't from the womb, it was from the heart.
Whoa.
Because they were frequency beings, they still are, yeah. So then, as this child was born from the heart, it became everyone's child, you know, although it was still the parent's child or whatever. Anyway, when she left, she gave me the book. I became a believer right then. It was incredible. So she gave me this book, Aliens Among Us. And so I was in the living room and I was looking at the book, and the first chapter talks about Ashtar of the Galactic Command. And I thought, I'm a channel. I'm going to see if I can bring him through. And boy, did he come through. When I asked for him to come through, oh my God, I just started shaking. And when I stopped, Ashtar had physically manifested in the middle of my living room in his uniform. So although the ceiling was there, I couldn't see the ceiling. I just saw him, how huge he was. And I was scared. And Jesus said, it's all right, it's all right. This is Commander Ashtar, and he introduced me to Ashtar. And then Ashtar started coming through. I was doing weekly classes. He would come through in the weekly classes and really show us how to turn our vibration up to the higher dimensional energies. So then this man contacts me, and I wasn't telling many people I was doing this, you know, it was just my classes. And he said he had just come back from Ashtar's ship, and my flyer was in his briefcase. Anyway, it was such an amazing time. So then this woman called me and had UFO sightings around her house all the time. And she was really sick. She'd been to doctors, no one could find out what was going on. So the government was investigating it, and so was MUFON, the UFO, you know. So I'm talking to her, and I said, you have a dark implant in your heart, and it's killing you. And she said she knew it. And so we made an appointment for her to come Monday. So it's Sunday night or Saturday night, whatever, and I'm in my kitchen bent over washing my hair. 6 of the Greys come up behind me, and they threaten me. They said, do not remove this implant from her. If you do, we're going to harm your children.
Oh.
And they said, it's none of your business, it's karmic. So that's when I first started understanding that what people go through with the shadow is karmic.
Wow.
So, but before she came, I was already doing work clearing implants and programmings out of people after Ashtar came. So I had like this team, what I felt like a surgical team, the Etherians that worked directly with Ashtar. So I'd be there, they'd be around the table, and we could see implants or programmings in people. And they would put their hand over mine and dematerialize it and pull it out. Now they're frequency implants, but back then it was more of the metallic, you know.
Wow.
Anyway, it was such an incredible time. You know, I was just so high from being in this energy. So anyway, she makes the appointment with me. The Greys come up behind me, threaten me. And they said, your children are fine. We're going to put a blanket of light over their house. Because I had just moved. I'd been guided to move. So my youngest daughter just turned 18. So I always say I'm the one that left home, you know. But anyway, so I removed the implant. And when I did that, the dark forces started attacking me. It was horrific. I didn't know if I was going to live through it.
Wow.
Their tactics, I mean, it's unbelievable. And then our government also, along with them, I was abducted and so much. I don't want to go into that story right now. But that's how I learned to do shadow work. So when they would change their tactics, I would have to find another way, you know. It was, anyway, yeah, it was quite a journey, but I learned. Finally, I was able to come out of it as I continued to raise my vibration. And then at that time, my vibration was too high for them to come into me. So when I do shadow work with people, I'm the spokesperson, but the whole team is there. And so we will bring the person's shadow to them, so they get to see, experience a shadow, and then step inside of it. And then the whole team just follows back wherever people are hooked up. And there's so many bases here that I was shown, and so many dimensions and all that. So I'm speaking, but if I'm working with a group, you know, whoever is assisting here, the higher light, they will go into any systems where anyone is plugged in or whatever, and just do soul retrieval, bring them back, bring them back, bring them back. And it just shifts their whole life.
Wow. Wow. I mean, I know whenever I have interviewed light workers, so to speak, unfortunately for the light workers, they have to go through a lot of challenges, physical and health problems, monetary, what you just talked
Emotional,
about,
yeah.
that, you know, the purpose being so that you can understand what it feels like when someone comes to you
Absolutely.
to be healed
Yeah.
with whatever particular aspect
Yeah.
is.
And to really experience the emotions of
Ah.
it, which is really important, to know how someone feels instead of just here.
Yes.
I want to tell another experience. Sorry,
Yes.
I'm talking so much.
No,
but,
that's the point.
I don't know, a few months ago, I had this dream with my son, Frank, you know, and Frank assists me now from the higher dimensions. He definitely is my assistant or a team. And people see him, feel him with me, you know.
People that
Thank you,
have
Frank.
intuitive
And-
abilities, yeah.
So, so I had this dream, and in the dream, we had just moved, Frank and I. And so we moved into this place that had like a community garden, which was so nice, and we didn't have furniture yet. So I'm walking into the living room, this big living room, and then Frank's in his bedroom, so this is the dream. So then I walk into his bedroom, and he's shooting up drugs. And there was this guy sitting next to him, like this paisley white guy is what I'm calling. And in the dream, I'm screaming at this guy to leave, and I couldn't get him to leave. And then I wake up and I'm shaking. And then when I start analyzing the dream, what I was being shown is the pasty white guy or whatever had become its own entity. So when we have addictions or whatever, whatever we go through, our emotions, like our brain creates an entity to help us get through it, sometimes a subpersonality or whatever. But what happens is it creates this entity. So emotions have their own entity, creates their own entity. So if someone's been on drugs or alcohol for a long time, there's like this collective energy field that becomes an entity that does not want the person to come out of it. So as a person, you know, his intention to get clean, this entity is going to pull him back into the old collective stuff.
Sure.
So it was just such an amazing dream. And it's amazing to be able to work with people that are going through that and to really go in to clear the entity, to break it loose and do soul retrieval.
Well, so many people on this planet now are addicts for various
know,
things, and it's
yeah.
so misunderstood. And a lot of the physicality of addiction has been, again, we've been targeted. I mean,
We have, yeah.
anybody watching this show knows that we're being
Yeah.
highly attacked from the air, from the water, from the food, from, making sure that there's lots of fentanyl. And, I mean, the attack on humankind,
Yeah.
not this humankind, because
Yeah.
this is the oasis here in Sedona,
It
Arizona,
sure is.
that John Strayer created
Yeah.
as a protected spot here deep in the Red Rocks itself. And so,
And this is the first time I've been in this space.
yes.
And I'm like, oh my God, this is amazing. It's like just the protection, the safety here. And when I was standing on the floor, I said, oh, I feel like dancing.
Which there are
It
lots
has
of
a lot
dances that take
music.
place here.
Yeah, yeah. So it's a wonderful space.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, John is a very high frequency dude.
Yeah, he certainly is.
Yes,
Yeah, amazing.
humankind, and that
Yeah.
is John. He's a wonderful human who is very kind.
Yeah.
And I think kindness, I mean, it's like we talk about love, 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 but I always say, what is love? I always say, when you say love, what does that mean? I used to say that to Michael all the time. What do you mean, love? And I think that one of the most valuable aspects of love is kindness,
Absolutely.
consideration,
Compassion.
compassion.
Yeah, kindness, compassion. Regardless of what our beliefs are, someone else has a different journey. And I do believe that we choose our lifetime before we come down here for whatever it is that our soul needs to experience. And so what we're going through is not just this lifetime, we're layered with all these other lifetimes with the same pattern. And I do a lot of past life work with people. It just started coming through when I was young. And many times going into past lives with the pattern, I mean, always people say, oh my God, that's what I feel in this lifetime. That's what I'm going through emotionally now. When we clear it back there, do soul retrieval, totally clears it out. Many times just instantly. It's amazing.
Yeah. We're going to be right back after this for more of the beautiful interview we have with Michelle Phillips. Stick around. We're in the Humankind.center studio as we record our shows. And we want to do a little shout out for everybody so that you know the Humankind Center is something that we are inviting everybody to be part of. And there are lots of community events here locally in Sedona, Arizona. But even if you are a member wherever you are, you get to experience whatever the events are at the Humankind Center. So we have a wonderful ability to connect through an app that John Strayers created. And tell us about the app.
So you can actually download the app on Google, and soon you'll be able to download it on iTunes and coming soon to Fire TV. So what makes Humankind different? Everything. One, it's created by someone who actually has the care for men, women, and children around the globe at the foundation of this. And truth and freedom, and with knowledge that may be new to you, with great music and understandings and hearing real people talk about things that are amazing and beautiful and real and connecting. That's really what Humankind is, because the quicker people awaken, the freer the world is. It's really a chance to be part of a start of not just a network, but a movement of community to the positive, peaceful, light-filled healing side.
Yeah, this was supposed to be a 30-second spot. All right, get your butt in gear and become one of us at the Humankind Center. Okay. Thanks for coming back to our beautiful show with Michelle Phillips. And Michelle, you've given us such wonderful information, but can you let people know what kind of work you do, how they can access that wonderful ability that you have on a personal level, on your books and all of that for people who are watching?
People always ask me, explain your work, and I'm like, how do I do that?
Well, they can buy your books.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. And all of the books are also DNA activators. So the work I do is with spirit. It just comes through me. And what we do, the first thing they do is start going in, the whole team, and they will clear the etheric body out, because our energy body or etheric body is connected collectively to whatever we're going through. And when I work with people, I can see if they watch the news a lot, because their whole etheric body is gray and dark, and I will see implants and programs there. And
So it's a little bit like the aura pictures, you are able to see it.
Yeah, yeah. And I will ask, do you watch the news? I mean, I can tell they do. So the first thing the spirit does, and even like if people have been sexually violated or abused, it's in their system here. Mm-hmm. So spirit goes in and they just start clearing this out of the way first. And spirit has shown me that our heart has a map of every experience we've ever gone through, all the way back to the illusion of separation from source. So then they go into the heart's map. First they clear the chakras out also. And then we go into the heart's map, the center of the soul, and into the Akashic records, and can really look at what the agreement is that, you know, people have come down here for. And then spirit takes them into other lifetimes. We clear it and do soul retrieval, bring the aspect of you that was stuck wherever back into you now. And again, the same with the shadow work. You know, so I mean, I'm giving like a kind of a quick of what it is, the work that I do, but it's so far beyond that because it's multidimensional, whatever is going on with the person.
And so many years ago, you brought in aspects that are now mainstream in the spiritual community. You talked about codes, you talked about frequencies, you talked about the multidimensional aspects that now everybody's saying, you know, the 12 dimensions that we're part of. So, you know.
And a lot of the work, I mean, it's just so multidimensional. It depends on the person and what they're going through.
Yes.
You know, spirit just comes through. So I'm the spokesperson, but the whole team is the one that does the work, for sure.
Well, one of the primary things here at Humankind that I know John wants delivered with any of our podcasts is because there is still a lot of chaos, a lot of fear, a lot of anger, and yet you, I know, are one of the people that can bring forward some of the avenues that people can travel into the better aspect of what the future can hold, rather than us seeing, you know, chaos and disaster.
And the other thing in sessions, we always connect people to their higher self. So if they don't have the connection, we make it. And we open the pineal gland, which is your DNA connection to source, to God, creator. And just go through what they call the new world, the new earth, into beyond the beyond, into the highest consciousness of creation, bring that down. And then we introduce people to their little girl and little boy, because you can't go where you're going until you start healing your childhood. The childhood is your roadmap to freedom. Everything we go through in life as adults, there it's connected to the childhood in some way, because that's where we picked up our patterns.
Yes.
So we want to clear the patterns out. So when you get to really meet your little girl and boy, because we all have the little girl, our knowing, our creative, our intuitive, the little boy, the intellect, the ego, the will. And many times they don't even know the other one exists.
Oh.
So like if we have been hurt, you know, as a child or whatever, maybe we're just too afraid to be in our feminine. So people learn, or I'm going to talk about women right now. So then women learn to come more from the protector, from the male aspect of themselves to be safe, you know, or men also, or the other way around. So we pick up these patterns from our parents that our soul agreed to heal. Plus, we're carrying all of the ancestral stuff that's been downloaded into us.
7 generations.
Yeah.
We're hearing about that. It's
And
like,
more, yeah. So anyway, the work that comes through me is definitely multidimensional. And we were talking about numbers.
yes.
So years ago, these numbers started coming through me. So the work that comes through me, like when I started toning, my girlfriend and I were meditating, the tones came through like 30-something years ago. And I looked at her like, what is that? It's before people were toning.
Frequency.
Yeah, frequency. Everything is energy frequency. So the numbers started coming through like
Codes.
20-something years ago. And I was doing classes with them, and because the Creator's shown me every karmic agreement has a number sequency to it. So when you can find the number sequency, you can start clearing also what the patterns or programs are. So one of the women that was doing my class had been diagnosed with early onset Alzheimer's. Mm-hmm. So through the class, it cleared that out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know that that's, Joe Dispenza talks about that, and certainly, you know, Jonathan Ashford
Yeah.
talks about, you know, these things. And,
Yeah.
and these are all bringing back into this dimension our God-given gifts that we have been disenfranchised from. Because, you know, Jesus in the Bible talks about you can do these things and more.
Yeah.
And that is true. What he was saying to us is really true, but we got interfered with, and our DNA damaged, and every way possible
But
to
we're
dumb
coming
down
back.
the consciousness of who we
Yeah,
are.
absolutely.
And now we're moving into the higher aspects, and you know, I know that you and I, because we're older and wiser,
Mature.
and we've been through a lot.
Been around the block a few times.
We are the consciousness pioneers.
Yeah.
And bringing things in that, you know, we had to endure the judgment of our family and friends, all thought we were crazy.
Yeah, absolutely.
And, you know, but here we are.
Especially when I was going through the dark night of the soul. I mean, I've been through a few of them, which all of us go through in our life, but with the dark forces, I mean, it was so far beyond anything I even understood. I understand it now. But I was living in Hawaii, and they're one of the top healers. Maybe there were 5 or 6 of us. I mean, this has been 30, 35 years ago, you know. And when I started being attacked by the darker forces, I was reaching out to others, and they're, oh, Michelle Phillips has gone off the deep end. Everyone thought I was crazy, you know. I knew I wasn't, but most people that are crazy don't think they are, you know. So, but my family absolutely, thought I was out there.
Yeah. Well, Michelle, we're coming close to the end of this segment, and because I did dedicate this to Jamey Francis, my beloved nephew, and basically we know that Jamey is just fine. It's just the rest of us down here that are devastated by his absence. And if...
He has a message.
Okay.
He's saying, live your life to the fullest here, because you don't know when you're not going to have it. And he's not saying that in a negative way. It's almost like if it were your last moment on earth, your last day, what would you say to people? How would you want your last conversation to be? Because he's showing me, as we know, there's so many people that are leaving right now.
Yes.
So he's saying, be present, be in the moment with people. Even it's such a busy world, we're like this. He said, dial yourself back in. And when you're talking to someone, be really present with them. And he's saying there is no fear of death, that he's happy, he's light. Yeah, he's joyful now. And it is, like you said, those of us that are left behind, which I went through, you know, when I lost my son, that go through the pain or the emotions of it. So what you want to do in life is be complete with everyone, absolutely everyone. If you have issues, I mean, go in forgiveness. And it doesn't always mean that you need to speak to them, because many times people aren't conscious enough to go into forgiveness, but you can do it for yourself, and you can do it for the person, so that you are free, okay, showing me again, so that you are free. So when you come back again, if you choose to come back, you don't have to come back through all this karmic stuff. You've already completed it. He's saying, like the experience I went through, if you can start looking at your life of all the things you've got to do here, like, oh my God, you know, I got to birth 3 children. Oh my God, I got to experience love. And he's saying that's what it's about. So honor the moment with people, because you don't know when you're not going to have it. And he's not saying that in a negative way. He's just kind of educating how important it is to be present with people and to be complete with them.
Wow. Thank you, Michelle.
Thank you, Jamey. He's a beautiful soul.
He is.
Yeah, I get to experience him.
Good-looking guy.
Yeah. It's a
Yeah,
wonderful.
with a sense of humor.
Yeah, I feel his humor. I was feeling it last night.
I know. Yeah, he had a lot of joy.
Yeah, he still has. It's
Yes.
amazing.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yep.
it's great.
Well, I thank you so much for being on the Kathleen Francis show. And I know we're not supposed to identify with ourselves, but I think I'm Kathleen. Well, maybe I'm going to be Jamey now. I don't know. I might have to change my name.
Well, thank you for having me. I so appreciate it.
My pleasure, and I thank the Humankind Studio and John Strayer
Absolutely.
for the opportunity to be here with all of you. And so I do hope that you continue to watch our show as we bring you continued information on how to navigate these times, these interesting times. And so with that, I wish everyone a wonderful week ahead. And I guess this is it. Take care. Bye-bye. Okay, this is my nephew, Jamey. He's working his ass off here, and this was the hole that we looked at
Gotta
yesterday.
pour it by hand, because with our mixer though, couldn't get a cement truck in here.
And over
Today,
here,
anyway,
yeah.
for the next step for the concrete to come in. It's lunchtime. 10:30 lunch, early today. Henry's hungry.
Okay.
He was hungry at 10. It's okay. We have a breakfast and a lunch.
Okay.
That'll keep us
Working.
energy.
Super
This was a
duper
good
Mickey
salad
Mouse
that
sauce.
Brooke made last night.
Huh?
Good salad Brooke made.
Mm-hmm.
Not as good as mine.
Oh, you do. Actually, you make a really good salad.
Are you videoing or just?
I'm videoing, documenting your lives. It's what I do.